will create men and their sheds, men and their sheds, men and their sheds.
They build it, they fix it. They collect and they create. I'm your host, Tony Bonner, and each week I'd like to take you around this big, beautiful brown land of ours to meet some truly remarkable people and visit some amazing places. Here's a real chance to get a sneak peek into secret men's business. We even have a man cave chat about your health. If you're into movies, memorabilia and cars, you're going to love meeting Zach Mihaljevic. He's going to show us his passion project, built from scratch with the help of his grandfather. He built a Batmobile. Yeah, you heard it right, the Batmobile. He even used a few parts sourced from the original car. We'll ask him and see how he uses his car to put smiles on the faces of some very sick kids.
Oh, that looked amazing.
Yeah.
Who's your favorite? Who's your favorite superhero? Batman. Yeah, cool.
Newcastle is the home of Lost in the 50s Museum, which has been 35 years in the making. We're going to visit owners Glenn and Kelly, who have put together the greatest personal collection of American cars outside the USA. The memorabilia collection alone is, well, it's jaw-dropping, but the cars, phenomenal.
Come on into the diner, folks. Some guys get lost in their sheds, but some sheds get lost in time. And this shed is Lost in the 50s, American Classic Car Museum. We're gonna meet the guy who put all this together real soon. But first, let's take a look what he found in the 50s.
Also in a future program, we'll be getting high with Ray and Jay, a father and son flying team who have arguably one of the biggest man sheds I've ever seen, located at Camden Airport. Their shed is big enough to house fully operational fighter jets, not the models, the real thing. Okay, so it's more of a man hangar, but it's still one hell of a shed. Let's take a look at what I mean.
You're willing to fly in this big bad girl, I warn you. You could crash, you could burn, and you could die.
Men and their sheds, men and their sheds.
Our special guest today is a young man who built his own very special car. So we sent our roving reporter to investigate. Over to you, Murphin.
Yeah, mate, I'm here in Zach's man cave. Apparently, he's got a Batmobile. Oh, yeah?
That's not the Batmobile. This is the Batmobile.
What do you want at Wayne Manor, Joker?
I come to see your man cave, Batman. Oh, sorry. Batcave.
There's a cave. Caveat, no psychopaths allowed. But there is a cave with your name on it, Joker. It's called a jail cell.
Speaking of cells, Batman, it's time you went electric. Your car is so noisy.
Batman, it's the commissioner. To the airport.
Well, here you coming, Batman. Let me in your cave. I'll build you a battery mobile. Did I sell the idea?
Sure. Knock yourself out.
Batman, that's assault.
Zach had a dream to build a car, not just any car, a car to put the smile on the faces of some sick kids. So he built a Batmobile. Yeah, a Batmobile. So he sent Chris de Havilland to have a chat to Zach about this amazing car.
How are you, bud?
Good, mate. Welcome to the show,
Chris.
Zach.
Thank you.
Take a seat. Mate, where did the dream come from to build this brilliant Batmobile?
Thank you.
And how did you get the skills in the first place?
Like any 5-year-old going to see the '89 Batman movie, obviously a poor choice of my parents because it's a pretty scary movie, but seeing this car, I can just remember wanting something like that or wanting the car, but obviously very far-fetched sort of dream. Had all the toys growing up, and I managed to be able to source a few parts off Warner Brothers, and then having a grandfather that's pretty handy. Like, everyone needs some old retired bloke with too much time and money. So I exploited him. I said to him I would love to build this Batmobile, and we'd done some old cars and motorcycles, but I pitched him the idea to build this car, and he thought I was a bit mad.
Why did you choose this motoring mobile icon, and how long did it actually take you to do?
Yeah, well, in all honesty, whatever Batmobile parts came up, I would have done, but I'm glad it was the '89, obviously having that connection to the movie, and it truly being the first like dream car of mine. But yeah, going on from there, with my grandfather, he sort of inspired me there a little bit, and it was going to be a hard task. Obviously, getting a Batmobile registered is very tough.
I was going to say, it's the only one of its kind, apparently, that's street legal in the world.
Yeah.
So what did it take to get it registered as roadworthy?
Initially, when I was doing it, there's sort of some people that have done some similar things now, but when we were doing it, it took us about a year to make, but 2 years to get street registered, because obviously no engineer wants to touch it. So we went through some engineers, and I remember the second or third engineer when we pulled up with it on the trailer, and it had been finished, like very close to what it was looking like now. And he sort of just told me to back up. You've got no chance, bud. But my grandfather was like, we'll find someone. And we found a guy, and he said if it meets all the tests and passes everything, then I'll pass it. But I'd sort of dug myself a bit of a hole at that point because already obviously had the car finished, but didn't have any grand plans initially to get it registered. I was just happy enough with the car. But from that point, once the car had been finished, the interest started to come.
Men in the sheds, men in the sheds.
The guys over at Oztent, they said to me, "Hey, Mad Rat, we've developed a couple of new chairs. We've developed the Kokoda Hotspot and the Goanna Hotspot chairs, and we'd like to give you some." So I said, yeah, all right, then I'll do a review, and I'll tell you what I reckon of these new chairs. So, what do you want in a camp chair? Well, you want to be comfortable for starters. I mean, whether you sit in a chair like that or whether you sit in a chair the way I do, it really doesn't matter as long as you are comfy around that campfire. And I reckon I'm pretty comfy now. I can sit like this for hours. But hey, it's got what you need as well. Like, let's face it, you can put your stubby in over there. You can keep your UHF radio in there. What else have we got over here? Your mobile phone can go in there. Now, we've also got a lumbar support system on the side here, and that's adjustable on both of them. But here is something that Mrs. Mad Matt and I reckon. We don't reckon they've got that in the right spot because it's not really hitting your lumbar. So for us, we didn't find that work too good. Maybe they can change that, but it might work just fine for you. That was our thoughts. Now, what else have they got in here? Little spot on the top. Have you ever gone to pack up your chair and wondered where the bag's gone? Not here. It actually makes part of the headrest. Isn't that cool? So there you go there. Now, what's this hotspot about? See, it says there, hotspot. Well, it's this cool patented system they've come up with. You get these bags. Each chair will take 4 of them. You click this metal disc in here. Just click that a couple of times. And look at this. Can you see that changing colour? What's happening right now is that's getting hot in my hands. As I speak to you, it is as hot as right now. And what you do, you put it in here, or you put it in there. Or where's the other side? Or one of the pockets down underneath here. You can load your chair up with 4 of these. So you imagine, you're sitting around the campfire in winter, everybody else is freezing, and you're as snug as a bug in a rug in your chair. So that's pretty cool. I absolutely like it. Now, let's say it's summertime and you're lazing back at the beach. Don't you worry, you're not going to have a hot butt. You're going to put this in the fridge or in your esky, it's going to cool down and become an ice brick. And you're going to put that in your chair. So you're going to be chillaxing, you're going to be cool, you're going to look cool, just like I do now, and it's going to be an absolute ripper. So how's that? So check it out. If you're looking for some comfortable chairs to go to the beach with, or go and sit around a snowy campfire, check out the Oztent Goanna or Kokoda hotspot chairs. Interesting idea. I kind of like it. I'm Mad Matt. Stay safe on the trails.
On the other side of the break, we'll have a man cave chat with Richard Brown from the Black Dog Ride organisation.
Men in the sheds, men in the sheds.
Each week we have a man cave chat about your health, about what you can do with any problems that may be arising, that you think you may have, that you need to resolve. And this week our very wonderful guest is Mr. Richard Brown from the Black Dog Ride organisation.
Hi, how are you? We say that a lot, don't we? How are you? But how often do we mean it? Especially us guys. In 2012, there were more than 40,000 suicides in America. Almost 4 out of every 5 were by men. Mental illness is now the leading cause of disability in the country, but we still have trouble talking about it.
Richard, thank you for joining us here at the Man Cave on a subject that is not pleasant for any of us, but I thank you and appreciate your time here. The Black Dog Ride organisation that does so much good, what are their objectives?
Well, our primary objective is to raise awareness of suicide prevention and about mental health, depression and other conditions.
How did you get involved with Black Dog?
Well, I got involved in 2014 when I heard about the Black Dog Ride, and I was very keen to get involved because I've suffered from depression all of my life. Suffered from suicide myself in the past, and but I've also, one of my daughters has had a very big battle with depression. Between the age of about 14 and 17, she actually attempted suicide on 8 occasions. So we were in and out of hospitals, and very, very stressful time. And now she's actually 23, and she's been all clear for a while, but she actually made another attempt on New Year's Eve. So she's currently in a psych ward.
Was there some kind of signal, something that preempted these attacks that may help one of our viewers with their family?
Yeah, I think in her case, she started to really withdraw, which is one of those typical signs.
Yep.
And yeah, we just couldn't get her to come and visit. That was one of the things. But she's also very good at hiding it.
Yeah.
And she really did hide it very well this time around. And that's one of the problems. A lot of people will hide depression and suicidality.
The terminology of suicide, there seems to be a couple of different acceptable manners in which to talk about this sadness and tragedy. What are your thoughts on that?
One of the things that's happened in the past is it's been referred to as commit suicide, and very much, that's come from the idea that it's some sort of crime. And nowadays we really don't like to use that term because it's not a crime. Some people use the term completed suicide. The suicide statistics tell us that 3/4 of the people that complete suicide are men. And so they tend to complete more often because they choose more lethal methods.
Yep.
But also, of course, there's a big problem with depression and other mental health conditions in men. Men quite often are poor help seekers.
And thank you for your knowledge and information on a really sad and tragic subject for Australia as a nation. So I thank you for that, and I know our Man Cave people thank you for that as well.
Thank you.
Well, thank you to Richard for his honesty, bravery and courage in sharing with us his journey and why Black Dog organisation is such a wonderful part to be joining and to be helping. If you have a problem in your family or friends, you see things changing, as Richard was just suggesting, please talk to them, get in touch with 000, and they will have help. We'll be covering some sort of health issue with men every week in our program, so please stay with us, and thank you for your time.
And this year alone, over 8,000 other Aussies will get on their motorbikes to spread the word that it's okay to talk about depression and suicide. They've ridden coast to coast across Australia. They've hung out with some interesting locals. They've made new friends. They've had a great time. And they've saved lives. And they've done it all while looking, well, cool.
Men in the sheds, men in the sheds.
We spent the day with Zach here and captured his Batmobile on the road, and also the public's reaction when Batman and Batmobile go for black olives, because Zach had a penchant for the old pizza. Let's have a look. Well, that's some reaction you get just driving around town. But there's something else you do with the Batmobile that's very special. Tell us about that.
I had to use the car for good. Like a lot of times when someone has something like this, it just gets locked up. You see it in a museum, but there's no interaction there. And I just wanted to give back with it. I get so much joy out of helping out or being able to fulfill someone's dream. And a lot of the times with like Make-A-Wish, the kids are really into these superheroes. And so it started out as just wanting to go for a ride in the Batmobile. And then as it evolved, these things have turned in like a full day now where we put together anything from rescuing Scooby-Doo to hanging out in the train tunnels in the Batcave. So it's like a tailored experience now for these kids, and their imagination is brilliant. So you come up with the funnest things, whether it's Taronga Zoo, like my brain's rattling with all these great things that we've done with the car. So I remember being like 8, 9 years old and a guy let me sit in his Ferrari.
Yeah.
And I still remember that to this day, like vivid memory of it, him just giving up his time. And to be able to give back something like that, it's brilliant. And as a character too is great. They don't know who I am, which is perfect.
Deep in the murky tunnels under the city, Batman had a mission he couldn't complete alone. Enter Luke Stevenson, the Superhero Society's newest recruit.
Some of the tunnels are quite small, so I need his help there. He's fast, he's strong, he's got a positive outlook.
Then Luke was back on dry ground for a ride in the Batmobile.
Can't get through McDonald's drive-through, that's the downside.
Have you been in one of these before? Make-A-Wish is trying to grant 700 critically ill children their biggest dreams. None of this would be possible without generous sponsors giving time and resources to put smiles on the faces of kids like Luke who are going through so much.
Zach and his granddad are now building a super F1 race car that will be street legal. But we'll cover that in another program. We look forward to meeting you as we travel around Australia, seeing some stupendous sheds and magnificent man caves. There is even a man cave, or should I say man boat, that has a resident chicken that sits on the skipper's head as he busts around the streets and entertains the passer-bys.
Every night I think about my boat. It's very important to me. It's like a dream. Right in the middle is a windmill. Luxurious accommodation. Oh, so exciting. And they're going to have my vegetable garden. Looks a bit rough at the moment, but it will be absolutely fantastic.
I'm making beauty on this life.
I could feel the freedom coming.
There's pain, there's strife. We are making beauty on.
What are you doing over here, Frank?
Bloody crashed already.
Not just.
You're only alive once. If you get a chance to achieve something, you've got to keep working towards it.
You've seen some of the most amazing snapshots of what men do in their man caves or their man sheds. Why don't you drop us a line? Let us know what you do in your man cave or man shed. You may find yourself appearing on our program at some stage. Bye for now.
Go when you go to your shed. Man cave secrets are now being shared.
I build, I collect, create.
Men and their sheds. Men and their sheds. Men and their sheds.
Men and their sheds. Men and their sheds.